from the WYLN studios in Hazleton, Pennsylvania. WYLN Evening Edition at 5:30 starts right now.
Good evening. It's Wednesday, July 1st, 2015. I'm Gary Perna in for Ann Gownley. We begin the broadcast tonight with a shooting in the city of Hazleton. One person was taken to the hospital with a gunshot wound to the abdomen. Police were called to Bennett Court between Green and Maple Streets around 12:40 this afternoon. Police say when they got to the scene, the victim was already taken to the hospital by another person. Hazleton Police Chief Frank DeAndrea was at the scene and spoke with reporters.
It is a male at this point. I have no positive identification on the victim and no knowledge of who very well may have done the shooting. We're in the early stages of the investigation, as you can see. Again, West Hazleton, the Pennsylvania State Police immediately responded to the Hazleton Police Department's aid. I would implore and beg any members of the community with any information pertaining to this specific shooting, today's shooting, to please contact the Hazleton Police Department at 570-459-4940 or by dialing 911.
The chief said officers did search an abandoned building in the area along with searching 2 blocks around the crime scene. Again, if you know anything, you're being asked to call police at 911. Now, while police were investigating that shooting on Bennett Court, gunfire rang out just a block away on Green Street. This time, at least 6 gunshots were fired on East Green Street, and a number of people fled from the area. Police had at least one person in handcuffs minutes after Luzerne County 911 received multiple calls about the gunfire. Others involved in the incident fled the scene, but Hazleton and West Hazleton police caught up with 2 of them, one on an ATV, another on a yellow dirt bike on the railroad tracks near the driver's license center on Route 309 in Hazel Township. We do know that a second gunshot victim was taken to Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton. In both cases, the victims were driven to the hospital in private vehicles. We do not know the name of either victim at this time. Troopers from State Police at Hazleton, West Hazleton police officers, along with Freeland and Butler Township, all assisted in the investigation today. One person was taken to the hospital following a crash on Poplar Street in the Heights section of the city. When WYLN arrived on location, we found this black Jeep in the roadway. Hazleton police and fire were on location. The firefighters had to use absorbent to soak up some fluids on the ground. APTS ambulance did transport the driver to Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton, for their injuries. Well, Hazleton police had a very busy last 24 hours, and now they're investigating a home break-in in which thieves broke into a residence on North Church Street and stole 2 air conditioners. They're also investigating an attempted break-in when someone cut a screen in an attempt to get into a house in the 200 block of East 2nd Street. If you know anything on either one of these calls, you're asked to call 911 immediately. A man from Schuylkill County is arrested and accused of killing a little boy almost 2 years ago. The 4-year-old boy died October of 2013 from head injuries. Philip Moliner is charged with involuntary manslaughter of the death of Tanner Geiser, almost 2 years after the little boy's death. Geiser was the grandson of Moller's then-girlfriend, and he was watching Tanner on October 9, 2013 at a home on Carey Street near Ashland. Tanner was then taken to Geisinger Medical Center near Danville, where he died a few days later. Moliner told police he was playing with the child, log-rolling him onto the bed when Tanner hit his head. Moliner is free on bail. He's scheduled to face a judge later this summer. We're officially in a budget standoff. The Commonwealth has no operating budget. As expected, Governor Wolf vetoed the $30.2 billion budget that legislators passed yesterday. The veto came just hours after the passage.
It's what I feared. This is a budget that actually doesn't work. It simply doesn't work. The math doesn't work, it's not balanced, and it doesn't address the challenges that Pennsylvanians face, and that we all know Pennsylvania faces, especially when it comes to education. So I'm going to veto the entire budget bill. I'm sticking to my broad goal